Hello, greetings to Amsterdam. It goes without saying I'd like to be there, but your government won't let me. I remember standing in the goal a long time ago when I played for Coventry City Football Club as a teenager, and we used to come to the Netherlands every kind of spring to play football tournaments in The Hague and Amsterdam. And who would have thought it that all these decades later, because I'm not 15 anymore, you noticed, I would be banned from the Netherlands and from most of Europe and Australia. It's a staggering confirmation what has happened to me, thanks to the Dutch government, of where we are now. We are in a place where law doesn't matter. I'm banned from the Netherlands and Europe thanks to a law that no longer exists, but it doesn't affect the decision to keep me from coming there, because the Netherlands in so many ways is a microcosm of what is happening in the world and where it's designed to go. And in 2025 we are going to see it go in that direction very, very fast. I've described 2025 as the start of perceptual blitzkrieg, where we're gonna be hit by so many different shocks and things to take our attention and our concern, that by the time we've got our head round one, another one's come. This is what they are planning. It's right across the spectrum of human society. And the Netherlands is, like I say, a microcosm of where this plan is meant to go, because in the end there are not planned to be elected politicians, only appointed bureaucrats and technocrats and system people. And so as I speak, you have a prime minister, Mr. Spoof as I call him, who is unelected and is a former, in quotes, head of Dutch intelligence and involved in the immigration department as well. The very departments that have been fundamental in banning me from the Netherlands and most of Europe. And you have a leader of the biggest political party currently, called Geert Wilders, who the so-called alternative media have been promoting over the years as some kind of free speech advocate, some defender of freedom. And he not only has overseen the appointment of an unelected Dutch intelligence operative, he has been silent on this most fundamental of assaults on freedom of speech, which is that because I agreed to speak at a peace rally 2 years ago in Amsterdam, I am banned not only for the next 2 years from that time, but they've just increased it for another 2 years because I have not changed my mind. I've not changed my views. And it's worth just pondering on the scale of fascism and tyranny that alone confirms is happening, and not just in the Netherlands but around the world. And as we enter 2025, we have got to move from just seeing what is happening to ceasing to cooperate with it on a massive scale. 8 billion people cannot be controlled by a literal comparative handful unless the 8 billion acquiesce to their own enslavement. And this is true of the Netherlands, it's true of Britain, it's true of America, it's true of everywhere. The number of people who are taking us into wars, who are purveying their injustice on the population, who are imposing their will on the population, are tiny in every country, while the population acquiesces to that tyranny. If it doesn't stop, what must be the outcome? It must be that the tyranny prevails, and it's a level of tyranny that is beyond most human comprehension. A tyranny in which artificial intelligence will be your mind and will be that which controls the entirety of human society. This is what's happening now with the psyop of Musk and Trump in the United States, where they're selling you the idea that they're for freedom. Oh really, they should talk to Geert Wilders. They're for freedom, but behind that smokescreen they're pushing on and plan to push on with their AI billionaires to this human AI fusion and this complete control of the system through artificial intelligence. And so in terms of peace and a peace rally, it depends what we believe to be peace and pursuing peace. Because we can see what's happening in Ukraine with Russia, we can see what's happening in Gaza and Israel and Lebanon and Syria, and we can say that's what war is, we must stop war. Yes, agreed. But there's another war that we need to focus on and never let our gaze be deflected. And that is the war on human freedom all over the world, and the war on our right to decide our own destiny. So this 2025 is going to be a year when the button is really pressed on all this, and we need to be in a state where our backbone is stiff so that we don't concede through acquiescence to what is planned for not just us as adults, but for our children and grandchildren on an even greater scale. So what has happened to me in the Netherlands in terms of this ban is a blatant, extreme example of where this is going and how far we have already come. They are still, shockingly, staggeringly, claiming that the Netherlands is a liberal democracy. It has not been one for a very long time. What it's become is a tyranny. in which a global cult of interlocking secret societies that operates through every country has turned the Netherlands from a liberal democracy, as it claimed to be, into an archetype for the world in so many ways, not least an unelected Dutch intelligence prime minister. So many extraordinary things are happening in the world that sometimes the extreme of what is happening around us can be lost. But to have a prime minister, as the Netherlands has, who is connected to the whole war machine and the war on the population machine, who is a former Dutch intelligence operative. I mean, hello? Intelligent life calling planet Earth is an extraordinary state of affairs. And I say to not just the people of the Netherlands, but people of the world in general, if we go on taking this shit, then the level of shit will just go on compounding until there's no freedom left. And the war on humanity is complete. Come on, people. Come on. It's time to stand up, look this tyranny in the eye, and refuse to blink. Because eventually, if we do, it will.